beginning the mission that changed everything. When we first arrived on the planet Virelia, we thought it was just another diplomatic outpost, a chance for humanity to prove we could be civilized partners in the Galactic Union. I never thought I'd be the one to almost start an interspecies crisis, just by reaching for someone's hand. My name's Captain Elias, part of the Terran Expeditionary Corps. Our mission was to establish peaceful contact with the Virelians, a reclusive but ancient civilization known for their unmatched biotechnology. Their society was structured around empathic bonds, connections so deep that they could feel each other's emotions, even pain, through direct touch. We had been warned never to initiate contact without permission, but no one told me how human instincts could betray you. Our delegation was greeted by the Virelian Council, tall, graceful beings, their luminous skin glimmering with faint, bioluminescent patterns that shifted with mood. Among them was Ambassador Serai, the youngest of the council, assigned as our liaison. Serai fascinated everyone, especially me. Her voice carried a calm resonance that could quiet a room. Her movements were fluid, deliberate, almost like a dance. She was the one who volunteered to help me understand their culture. Over the next weeks, we spent long hours in the Virelian archive halls. She would explain their history, their art, their connection to their planet's living biosphere. Every word she spoke carried a weight I couldn't explain, as if her emotions shaped the air itself. And slowly, I began to notice the patterns on her skin change when she looked at me. A flicker of violet, soft blue, and something else I later learned was curiosity. Middle, the gesture that crossed a line. One evening, the research dome was almost empty. A storm raged outside, green lightning crawling across the horizon like veins of fire. The hum of Virelian energy fields filled the silence. Serai and I sat across from each other, translating a series of old glyphs. The glow from the screen reflected in her eyes, a strange mix of warmth and melancholy. She spoke softly. You humans separate thought and emotion. You believe understanding comes from logic. For us it comes from feeling, from connection. Smiled. That's what makes us complementary, isn't it? You feel what we try to understand. She tilted her head, the corners of her lips curving faintly. Perhaps. Or perhaps it is why you fear us. I didn't answer right away. There was truth in her words. Humans feared what they couldn't control, and empathy that deep. It was uncontrollable. A loud rumble shook the dome, and the lights flickered. I reached out instinctively to steady the data tablet, and my fingers brushed against her hand. Her skin was warm, electric, but in an instant her expression changed. The soft blue glow on her skin burst into sharp crimson streaks. She froze. Elias, she whispered, her voice trembling slightly. You don't understand what that means. Pulled back, startled. I'm sorry, I didn't. She stood, taking a step away, her hand trembling slightly. You have initiated contact. A Virelian touch is not a greeting. It is an exchange. An exchange. Yes. She looked at me, and in her eyes I saw something shifting. When one of us touches another, our emotions intertwine. Our memories resonate. For a moment, you are no longer separate. I swallowed. And now, her glow dimmed to a deep violet. Now, I can feel you. For a moment, neither of us spoke. I didn't know whether to apologize again or run. But then I realized I could feel her too. A flood of sensations washed through me. Curiosity, warmth, fear, and something unguarded. Something that felt like longing. It was overwhelming but intoxicating. The growing bond. Over the next few days, Serai avoided me. The council, unaware of the incident, continued talks about trade and technology exchange. But I couldn't focus. Every time I closed my eyes, I felt that faint echo, her presence in my mind. And one night, as I sat in my quarters, I heard a whisper. "You're thinking too loudly." I turned, but there was no one there. Then I realized it wasn't sound. It was inside my thoughts. "Serai," I whispered. "Yes, you left an imprint. When you touched me, part of your emotional frequency linked with mine. It cannot be undone easily." "I didn't mean to." "I know," she interrupted softly. "But now we are connected. When you feel something, I feel it too." Days turned into weeks. I tried to suppress my emotions, but the more I did, the more vivid the connection became. I could sense her presence. When she was near, my heartbeat quickened. When she was sad, my chest tightened. And sometimes when she laughed, it felt like sunlight in my mind. One night she came to see me. "The bond is stabilizing," she said quietly. "The council must not know." "Why? What would they do?" "They would call it contamination. They fear emotional imbalance. A connection between species is forbidden. Then we break it." Her expression softened with sorrow. "It doesn't work that way. The only way to break a bond is through emotional severance. One of us must reject the connection completely, to stop feeling. And if we can't, then it deepens." We stood in silence. The distance between us felt heavier than gravity itself. And then she whispered, almost pleadingly, "You shouldn't have touched me." Conflict, the council's judgment. A month later, the council noticed changes in Serai's behavior. She grew distracted, hesitant in her reports. Rumors began to spread among her people that the human ambassador had influenced her. When they summoned me to the chamber, the tension was palpable. "Captain Corin," the High Elder said, his voice like vibrating glass, "it has come to our attention that you violated protocol. You initiated empathic contact." I stood at attention. "It was unintentional." Serai stepped forward. "He did not mean harm. The contact was instinctive." The elder's patterns flickered with disapproval. "Instinct has consequences. You carry part of his resonance. You are no longer neutral." They turned to her. "You will undergo cleansing to remove the bond." Serai's skin flared bright silver, a sign of panic. "No. If you attempt to purge it, you could kill him." Silence filled the chamber. Every alien I turned to me. "Our biology is linked now," she said. "His emotional current is inside me. If you remove it, it could rupture both minds." The elders murmured among themselves. I felt a strange calm, even as dread settled in my chest. For the first time I realized what she was risking, her status, her life, for something that began as a mistake. The escape. That night she came to my quarters again. Her glow was faint, almost fading. "They're preparing to separate us. If they succeed, one of us won't survive. Then we run," I said without hesitation. She stared at me, as if trying to see if I meant it. "You would leave your people." "I didn't ask for this connection, Serai. But I won't let them destroy it." We left the dome under the cover of the twin moons. Virelia's jungles pulsed with living light, plants breathing in rhythm with the planet's energy. The air shimmered with bioluminescent spores, drifting like stars around us. I could feel her heartbeat syncing with mine as we ran. Every step was in perfect rhythm, every breath mirrored. We reached the edge of the crystal basin, a vast field of resonant quartz that amplified empathic energy. There she stopped,